Hello there and welcome back. Well, new supplier alert. We've got a fabulous new company that we are bringing to you, and you are going to love everything that Rachel brings to us here today. So check out the details on your screen. We have got a new company, Beads by Verchiel, and I think, have I pronounced that correctly, Rachel?
You have.
Lovely.
That's spot on.
Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you for having me.
Not at all. It's good to have you on board. Now, because you're a new supplier to us here at Hochanda, we'd love to know a little bit more about you, how you came to be here, and how did you choose the company name?
Okay. Well, firstly, the company name is I wanted something with some meaning, and Verchiel is actually the name of the angel of July, which is both of our birth months. And the angel of July actually represents taking time out for yourself, stepping back and just pausing for thought and doing things that replenish your energy. And that really is what this is all about, actually doing something to relax, a bit of me time. Yeah. So that was the whole thing behind the name.
Wonderful.
And in terms of how it came about, I've always had a passion for jewellery making. My grandparents used to work in the Birmingham Jewellery Quarter.
Oh, yes.
And I just remember as a child sitting on my grand's lap with her beautiful pearls and rings, and I think that's where my passion for jewellery has come through the generations.
And I wasn't sure if there was a little bit of a Midlands twang there.
There is a bit of a Midlands twang.
Whereabouts are you from in the Midlands, if you don't mind me asking?
Originally from Staffordshire.
Oh, lovely. Oh, very posh.
That posh. I was from Staffordshire, and then I moved when I was 18 to Swindon.
Oh, yes, okay.
Never lost the accent, as you can see, but I have a bit of a Wiltshire twang in there as well, so there's a bit of a mix.
A bit of mix, which isn't far wrong, is it? I mean, it's not a bad thing at all. Now, we are already busy for everything that Rachel has brought us, and don't worry, we're going to get in with those demonstrations in a few moments. But what I love about your style of jewellery, it's a very classy look, and we'll see that exactly with the first kits that we're sharing with you, because we're talking wire work, and I think there's something incredibly delicate but also robust about wire work, and you can see here we've got the means for you to create the most incredible set of pendants. Now, the pendants do actually come with a chain which you can adjust to whichever length you want, because of course that's very much personal choice, but you can see that we have got 3 different choices with these. 2 beautiful flowers featuring within these, Rachel.
Thank you. I just thought it was something really nice and delicate. And also, whether you're a beginner or you've been doing wire work already, it's a really good all-rounder. And I've tried to use wire that's fine enough yet strong enough so it's kind on the hands as well, particularly if it's completely new to you.
Well, this is it. Now, talking of completely new, can a novice, a new, how do you call yourself, a wire worker, or I don't know if you're working with wire?
Wire worker, yes.
Yeah, does that sound about right?
That's one of the... Yeah,
that
sounds good.
So this is okay for beginners?
This is a great one for beginners. So if you've never tried wire work yourself, or you've dabbled a bit with jewellery making, whether you're new to it or not, this is a really good place to start. So in the kits, there are full photograph instructions, written and photographed, so it takes you step by step. And you can just do it in bite-sized chunks.
I love that. Now, we've got 3 options, as I'm sure you'll have noticed. Well, I know you've noticed because you're shopping for them. The rose gold, very popular one at the moment, but you can see there as alternatives, we have your gold, and we also have your silver tone as well. And of course, within these, you're going to have enough wire, the full instructions, everything that you need to know to create an orchid and a rose. It's not a choice of, you'll be able to create both of those. You will need, obviously, a few tools for your jewellery making tools. We'll talk about that when we get over to the demo area, but as you can see, you have got a beautiful array of quality items, and this is a key thing. It's got to be the right wire for the job, hasn't it, with this particular set?
Absolutely, and you'd be amazed what a difference different thickness wires can make to a final project, and to how easy it makes the project as well. So I've tried to take that into account when designing it, so that it does suit everybody.
I love it. There you go. So the details are on your screen now. Which one are you going to choose, or are you going to go for multiples? Because of course the beauty is they're all on the same item number, so you could go for a couple of colours if you so choose. Now 230679 if you're wanting to get hold of those. But one of my suggestions would be potentially that you go for kind of the top-up kit, the wire booster kit that we've got at the bottom of the screen, which works alongside this. Because obviously what you would actually have is you would have obviously your instructions from your original kit, but then with the booster kit you have more of the wire, more of the findings, more of the elements to make more of these. And you can see there you've got all the different elements, including your seed beads in these as well. And again, with these you've got a fabulous price set of £9.99. So it might be that you're going for maybe the rose gold, as many of you are, with the original set with the patterns in there, and then maybe topping up with your booster set so you can do more of those. Now 213253. So with these ones, is it a case of that we're getting all three of these within here, or is it choices of with these as well?
Sorry, for the
booster, is it a choice of the different ones?
For the booster, you get everything in there. You get all three, so you can dabble with all three of them, or you can mix and match the two colours together if you want to make it a little bit extraordinary.
That makes it incredibly affordable, because you're only looking at £18.95 for the first set, and then if you add in the booster set, then of course you're going to be able to make more repeats of those. So at 213253. Now with the design that you've given us in the pattern, if we're making these up, could we actually sell what we've created? Yes,
absolutely. You're very welcome to sell what you've created, and if you want to put additional embellishments. The other thing you could do with these as well is, obviously I've given you the dimensions and how long you do the weaves for, particularly on the rose, but once you've actually done it once, you can then adapt it. You might want to make a bigger rose, like with the orchid.
Oh, you've got
I've adapted one in my hair.
Yes, lovely idea, that is.
So you can build up your confidence. You can even make them into ornaments. You know, if you want a pretty little ornament, particularly with the orchid.
Can you imagine them looking beautiful with like a little candle, a delicate candle or something like that? So
you could even wrap it around it. There we go.
No, we're busy for that booster set. Lots of you have been taking advantage of this one. So over half of the stock has gone already of this one. So 213253. If you fancy getting hold of this, and the details are there on your screen. And as I say, you can add it in alongside the original set. But we've got a different style that we're going to be sharing with you next. And this one has got lots of the kind of traditional beads that you may have come across when you are working with jewellery. And these are lovely, because what you've got here is a series of different bracelets in a series of different kind of ways of putting them together in different colour tones. So as you can see here, the design that you've got is a really pretty design. This is really, really clever. I love this because you've got obviously the beads, those gorgeous almost like pearl look down there, as you can see there, and then the little seed beads kind of creating that lacy effect at the side there. Now it's a pick and mix, so with these you're going to choose any two of these. So there's lots of different choices. So you'll see all the choices appear on your screen in just a few moments, but you can see you kind of got that champagne look with that one. You've got the ivory look with this one here as well. Gunmetal look with this particular one, that gorgeous red there. That one's, I think that's going to be a popular one. If you're into kind of your gothic style jewellery, then that one is going to be a beautiful one. I love those beads in the centre there. Mix of your pearl with your turquoise on this one. Again, a very, very pretty design. And then again, going back to that kind of gothic image or reference, again, look at that with those gorgeous kind of jet black beads that you've got there. And then, of course, you have got that lovely blue tone, again, with that pale blue there, as you can see. So these ones, it's a pick and mix, so it's a choice of any two. But they are two kind of independent kits. So if you're wanting to give them as a gift, you could do. So shall we look at those different options again with regard to these and give you the colourways of these? Is that a good idea? So if we work our way along, this particular one that we've got here, I don't know what we're calling this one. What are we calling this particular one? I think this one is going to be your gold, because you've got your gold little influence there, as you can see with your seed beads at the side. Next one that we've got is that kind of pearlescent look. So that is your white and your cream. So if you like the look of that particular one, isn't that pretty? I like that one. I'm going to bring the next one in for you. This is that one there. You've got that kind of strong look. So this one is your red and your gunmetal. Very pretty design. Next one, I think with this one you've got very much a beachy look to this one, haven't you, with the turquoise and the cream there. Absolutely beautiful. The next one, again, very much that Gothic influence with this one. So this one is your black, but you have got a little hint of your grey beads in there. So that one is your black and grey. And then the last one that you've got is that beautiful blue, as you can see there again. And that one is simply blue. And of course, the beauty is if you go for a couple of these and you go for different colourways, you could almost be mixing those up, or potentially go for maybe, I don't know, several of them. Maybe even turn it into a little bit of a necklace, because of course, once you know the technique of how you can put these together, and of course you can start experimenting and coming up with your own design. So there you go, you pick and mix there. You've got a choice of any two for just £18.95. But of course you could go for your pick and mix of two and then add in your booster set, which is what I'm going to tell you about next, because the booster set, in a similar way as we were talking about the wire work, gives you the ability to extend and create more of these. So it could be that you're extending it and making it into a necklace, or it could be that you're making a second version, because what you've got within here is you've got your booster kit, obviously explaining to you everything that you've got in here. And again, Rachel, is it a similar situation whereby you're getting everything in
Everything that's there. So
Wow.
you get your strands of pearls, so you can mix and match the colours if you want to. And like you say, I love the idea. You could make a really beautiful choker necklace with this.
Gorgeous, yes.
And you've got all that selection of seed beads, you've got the thread, you've got 2 extra needles in there, one long, one short, depending on what you're more comfortable using with the needle. And it will just allow you to play till your heart's content.
I love it. Now this one, we've got the details for the booster kit at the bottom of your screen there, just £15.95, so 955,587. You're also going to get your fabulous organza bag in there as well, which is going to allow you to actually create with those as well. So if you fancy getting a hold of these, the details are on your screen there. The booster kit at the bottom and the original set with the instructions on the side of your screen there. So for the original 175,514 and the booster at the bottom of your screen, 955,587. Now talking about boosters, we had the booster set that was there for the wire work a few moments ago. It's been a popular one, and it is one of those ones that lots of you have been adding into your basket. So the details that you've got on your screen there, sadly it did sell out because we didn't have huge quantities of those, and what we did have has sold out. But good news, we have got more of those available for you, so you can get hold of them. We just need to allow a little bit of additional delivery, because of course Rachel's got to get home, bless her, and she's going to get these put together. So we're looking at the 7th of September, but definitely worth the wait. 213253 with regards to these. Now we're going to head over to the demo area, because I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see how all this fabulous wire work comes together. It's such a delicate look, isn't it? So Rachel, we're going to come over to you if that's okay.
Absolutely.
If you're ready. Lovely. So what do we need to know?
So I thought first of all I'd give you a little sneaky peek of the wire work orchid. Now the wire work orchid, I've done a couple of different stages to show you how it goes, and also it can be quite difficult to visualise actually how the process takes place. Now I'll show you the first little one. This is how it starts off first of all. So you use your round nose pliers to form these loops here, and then we measure different lengths to create these curves. And these are all, so this is the base of the flower.
Lovely.
And this is the top of the petals. So those are formed using your flat nose pliers, where we've bent around that to create 5 petals.
And are these pretty standard tools that you're working with here?
They're standard tools, so you're looking at flat nose pliers, which are otherwise known as parallel pliers. They're really things that will be in every beader's toolkit.
Perfect.
Chain nose pliers and side cutters. So those are the key ones that you need. Now there are some recommendations in the kit, for example, lightly hammering, but they're not essential.
Okay.
There's just a couple of recommendations in there, and whether or not you take that forward, it won't affect the end result of your orchid.
Lovely, thank you for that. And if you do need any tools, we have got loads of jewellery making tools on the website, to do check them out. They're better than the ones you might find in your garage toolbox as well, aren't they?
Yes,
Because they're built for a different purpose.
Not always good for the garage toolbox. They end up taking the top off. So when we've established that, we then actually tweak the ends, and you wouldn't believe really that we could go from this to this. Now to make it more pointed, the petals, we squeeze the tops, top and bottom.
Okay.
And I'll show you the next little bit to show you how magical it is, the fact that you change this into producing it into petals. Now, a good old Sharpie pen,
Oh, okay.
most people have got, crafters have got a good old Sharpie pen, is we'll pop that around the first petal and then bring both ends together, and there you have your first petal formed. And then we're going to use a slightly smaller pen, but you want one that doesn't have any ridges on it.
Okay.
And pop that into the next one. Bring that round. And because this is the thicker wire that we're using, so it gives it a nice bit of stability.
Well, I'm noticing that it's easier and very malleable to kind of form the shapes, but at the same time, they're holding their own.
They're holding their own. Again, when I teach a lot of wire work, I do get some people struggling with a thicker wire because it can be, you know, particularly people that might struggle with their pains in their hands. Mm-hmm. But the wire I've chosen here is really strong, but it's not too thick to create any discomfort whilst you're making it. So that has gone.
Oh, look at that.
From there to there.
That looks amazing.
And you gradually introduce your fine wire. Now this fine wire, you can, it's 0.3 or 0.4 wire, and we just add the centre stamen. So these two loops here is we actually build the wire in and attach them, and then we anchor all the way around, and eventually we bring in this little centre point here.
Lovely. Oh yes, you can see it so delicate. Now, can you hold that really tightly for? That's perfect. Thank you, because we can get the camera right in hand.
Is that okay?
That looks beautiful.
And I must admit, I love all of the colours. I love the rose gold. It's quite a unique colour that really seems to suit most people.
The lovely bead that you've got the centre point, that is included within the kit?
That's in the kit. That's a crystal, a Czechoslovakian crystal. And the little stamens, if I just bring, I don't know if you can see them.
Oh,
but
wow.
if we've got time, I'll just show you how you make the little stamens. How are we doing for time? Okay.
Yeah, you're fine for time at the moment. It's only just after 1/4 past.
Oh, fantastic. So for the stamens, we add these tiny little crystals. I don't know if you can see, but they've got what we call an aurora borealis sheen on them. So they change colour in the light. And we hold those slightly away, and we twist. So keep those three. Hopefully you can see that okay. Good. And as you get more confident with doing the orchids, you could obviously build in bigger petals, you could create more stamens in there as well. And you could either use a pin or you could use your round nose pliers. And once you've twisted that, you don't want to over twist either, because it's fine wire and you could quite easily snap it. So,
okay.
And we twist that around to create some movement on there.
That looks beautiful. That looks gorgeous.
So like I say, you can build in more stamens if you want it a bit more glitzy. You can build in different colours, different size beads. And you just continue with that until you've got the stamens. And like you mentioned earlier, Hayley, the chain that's in both of the wirework kits is 20 inches, but you just cut the chain to the length you want, and there's also a tutorial in there as to how to put the chain together, just in case it's something you've not done before.
beautiful. Look at that, and I love that. I mean, you can see the reflection of the rose gold sitting on those beads as well. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The facets that you've got on there, that's down to the quality of the beads that you've chosen.
They're Czechoslovakian crystals, and I must admit, they're one of my favourites. I love them.
I can understand why. It looks absolutely amazing. I love that because it's a very delicate look to it, but at the same time, of course, the wire enhances it, and that's the key thing with it, with this as you're working with it. So with regards to this, is there any more that you wanted to show us with regards to the orchid?
The only other thing to mention with the orchid is the fact that you can actually tailor it to how you want it. I like to actually make the petals, to bend the petals.
Oh, I see, yes.
To create more of a 3D look. Some people may prefer to bend them the other way, but I think it's nice just to create a little bit more of a 3D element by doing that.
See, that's lovely. I mean, that could sit on a card or a hair comb or anything
Absolutely.
like that.
You could do a hair fascinator with it as well. You could put a few onto a hair comb,
Absolutely
even an
beautiful
embellishment on a bag or...
Well, I'm thinking things like bridesmaids and things like that as well. And I must admit, your ring, I couldn't help but notice that beautiful ring. Is that something that you've created as well?
It is. This isn't one of my designs. The flower isn't, but the beadwork is. But the thing about the ring is the fact that, again, it's made with needle and thread.
Yes, yeah.
So it just shows you the frill bracelet's a really good starter, and there's so many things you can go on to create.
So with the orchid, could you actually add that to a kind of a beaded ring band if you wanted to?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
You could just make a much smaller version, and there's no reason why you couldn't weave some of that fine wire in just to secure it in place.
That's absolutely beautiful. I love that. So there you go, as simple and as easy as that. And what a fabulous tutor Rachel is with regard to taking us through that. And you can understand why we have been busy for this. I mean, you can see the necklaces across the top here, all made to perfection in the different colour tones that you've got available. So you can see here you've got your rose gold. So of course your rose gold, you've got your rose, as you can see here, with that wirework detail. Obviously it's sitting on that lovely chain, which I think we said was 22 inches, I think we thought with those.
20 inches.
20 inches, I do apologise.
I've got some of the chain here just to show the components, if that's of any help. So literally you cut the chain, normally 20 inches is a good, most people sort of go for anything between 16 and 20 inches. So you would just attach the components on the end and your lobster clasp, and that would then go
all come together. There you go.
all together.
Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Now, I've got a tricky job for you because I want to show you everything that you're getting within this set, and it's a bit tricky because I know that as soon as I tilt this, it's all going to go flying everywhere. So what you've got is, obviously you've got your two 20-inch chains. We're looking at the silver option here. So you've got your two chains, as you can see there. You've also got things like your little lobster claw clasp there featuring. You've also got that beautiful crystal bead that we just saw in the centre of the orchid. Now obviously you've got two... Oh gosh. Are you okay, Nikki? That's Nikki getting ready for heart. Literally nearly threw the whole lot up in the air then. That would have been fun TV, wouldn't it? What you've actually got in here is obviously the two sets of beads. So on the one side, we're looking at all the elements for your orchid. And then the other side, of course, you are going to be creating your fabulous little rose. And you've got a bead in there, which I'm guessing we might learn more about as the hour progresses.
Yes,
so you've got
a secret bead.
It's a secret bead. Oh, I love a secret bead. So those are the elements there. So as again, it's very, very tricky for me to show you that without tilting them and them all sliding off. But what you are also going to get is obviously the wire. Now, as you saw from Rachel there, working with two different grades of wire. So that is key with this because, of course, you've got your wire for your foundations, creating your fabulous forms. And then, of course, you've got your lighter grade wire. That is what you're going to be wrapping around and creating your beautiful design, because we are talking wire work. Now, with the rose gold, that is one that's proved to be most popular, I think. Oh, actually, it's not that far ahead of the others, to be honest. So if it's the rose gold gold that you're thinking of, then I would urge you to place your order for the rose gold to start with. Make sure you get hold of that particular one. But of course, we are very busy for the others as well. So if you like your traditional gold, your yellow gold, or your silver, perhaps looking like your white gold, then of course you have got those available. And don't forget, we've got the booster kit available for you as well. Now within the booster, you are going to get everything. So you're going to get all three of those metals in there, the rose gold effect, the gold effect, and also the silver effect. And you're going to get those with additional beads. So that means that once you've actually learnt the technique, then of course you can go and create more of these. Now we did sell out on these, but we have got more available for you. Just looking at an extra couple of weeks with regards to dispatch of these. So it's the 7th of September. But again, it's probably simpler for me to show you some of those bead elements there. You've got those gorgeous AB crystal that we saw, that lovely gold featuring within there as well, as you can see. So plenty of those beads. Lots of the little tiny seed beads, because of course all of these elements come together to create your gorgeous pieces. And then again, you have got your additional, I mean, look at the sparkle, these little AB crystal there, absolutely beautiful. Now of course with these are where you're going to be able to create more of your pendants. You're just going to add in your own chain to create those necklace drops. But of course all the tuition, all the knowledge is within that first kit, so do please consider getting hold of that one. And for an extra £9.99, I think it's definitely worth adding this one in. If you're wanting your booster kit, then the details are at the bottom of your screen there, 213253. And then of course you have got your rose gold and your rose and your orchid, should I say, in the main kit, which is 230679. So if you fancy getting hold of those, pop them into your basket and then away you go. Now I'm going to have a look to see what are we up to next then, Rachel.
Delights that we have next is giving you a sneaky peek of the rose.
Oh, okay, right.
And what we do with that magic bead.
Well, I'm
that
intrigued.
one bead.
Okay.
And its important role in the kit.
Okay.
Okay. Now, with the wirework rose, this is, if you've not done any wire work before, this is a lovely introduction to doing wire weaving. What is wire weaving? Wire weaving is where you create this look. This one is a figure of 8 weave, and this lovely little bead here is actually a spacer guide. So it really ensures that your weaving doesn't end up like a banana shape as you're going up. So I will just demonstrate, make sure it's on the right side. You alternate between sides on this. So the width of this bead is the width that you do your weave all the way up.
Oh, I see, okay.
Now, the weave in itself, like I say, is a figure of 8. And if, again, perhaps you've not done it before, you're not sure how it will be on your hands, it's a really soft wire that I'm working with.
See, that's really clever to use that bead there, because I'm guessing with the natural tension that you'd have by weaving, you'd be drawing those little kinds of almost metal arms that you've got there together and completely kind of getting the wrong shape altogether, really, distorting it.
It really is, for just something so small, is something really quite useful all round in wire work. Now, it is, I would say this is a slightly longer project to the wire work orchid from the wire weaving aspect, but the good thing is you can take your time with it, and we add the element of crystals as we're going as well. So in the kit you've actually got all of the dimensions as to how long you do the weave, how long you cut the wires, and where you actually position your crystals into that as well. Now the crystals are all at different points because you actually twist it, so you continue doing that.
Lovely.
And introducing, I think it's about 5 groups of crystals. And what I would say as well with the weaving is you want to actually make sure that you don't sort of weave like this.
Oh, could you show us that again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you don't want to be weaving like that and then push it down, because you'll create a really saggy weave. So by all means do it quite loosely, but when you've completed that circle, actually pull it nice and tight.
So that wire that you've got there, the narrower wire, is, as you can see, they're building out that gorgeous kind of, it's like bridging the gap between the two pieces. That's so delicate.
And this little bit here, obviously you cut off.
Okay.
But it's a really good anchor point until you've actually created more of your weave. You can then cut that off.
And I love that because you can see how it's kind of wrapped around and it creates that gorgeous spiral look.
It's got a really nice sparkle to it as well, with it being such a fine wire. And
that's why the wire is important at the right grade, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, you know, the difference, if you, for example, did that with a 0.6 weave, it would be A, very hard on your hands, and B, wouldn't be quite such a neat weave either. So as with the other kit, you've got step-by-step coloured instructions and written, and this is what you end up with. So it's a ribbon of weave, and as I said, in the kit all the particular spacings are in there as well.
Everything's explained.
All of the crystals.
Don't they look beautiful? And the way the light's catching those, they look absolutely beautiful there. And as I say, just absolutely gorgeous. And look at that. So you can see all the different facets. And as you're just holding it there, you can see that the light literally bouncing off those as we're looking at those. Absolutely beautiful.
And as you said before, with regards to like the orchid ring, you can actually do a smaller version of this to create a ring. Again, there's so many things. Once you've got the kit and you've learnt the techniques, you can then go on and experiment with it.
Well, this is the key thing, and of course you can see how Rachel's been working with the rose gold there. We've got 3 of your different options there in front of us here. I'm just having a little look. The rose gold is the one that we've got furthermost over here, and you can see once you've created that gorgeous wire ribbon, then obviously you go on to the next stage, which we're not going to show you because you need to get your instructions to learn how to do that, because that's what it's all about. I think Rachel's been very generous showing us how to create that gorgeous ribbon, and then obviously you've got the special twist that when you bring it together, it's creating that lovely little wire work rose. And of course, alongside your little rose, you're going to be able to make your orchid, and that's the one that we saw with the first part of the demonstration. And again, such a clever technique, all about that measurement, making sure that you've got the right amount of wire to create those beautiful flowers, as you can see there. And that's the key thing, those gorgeous little AB crystals sitting in the centre. That one is your rose gold version, and I think, is it the rose gold version that you've got in front of you there, Rachel?
It is, yes.
Lovely. And this is where you can see again it all comes together. Is that one of the little roses that you've got in front of you?
This is one of the part formed roses, yes.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And you can see the bail there ready for it to go sitting on a little chain.
And I think once you've learnt the technique, you could have really big full roses. If you were comfortable and got carried away with doing the ribbon, you could make fuller roses.
I love that, and almost maybe making a series of them to go around a bracelet. But you've got the knowledge, that's the key thing. You can create them over and over again if you wanted to. I like that idea.
You could.
There you go. So if you're going to make your choice, you've got your rose gold that we saw in action there a few moments ago. Then, of course, you've got your kind of yellow gold, which we've got sitting in the centre, as you can see here. And again, same design, same techniques, but different result because of the different type of wire that you're working with. And then finally, if you like your cooler tones, then you have got your silver tone as well. And this is the beauty with regards to this one. It really does show off. See, I've got a little bit of a hankering towards a silver tone. I do like silver tone. I think that's lovely. Nice fresh look, as you can see there, with those gorgeous little crystals featuring there as well. So if you fancy treating yourself, don't forget this kit is going to allow you to create 2 necklaces because you've got to get all the beads and all the wire for each one of those pendants. So it's not a choice of, you'll have 2 pendants, but you'll also have the 2 chains attached to them as well. So this is amazing to think that you're going to be able to make 2 finished pieces of jewellery for less than £19. Absolutely incredible to think that you can do that. And then don't forget adding that booster wire kit at the end, because that means that you can actually make more versions of those. And again, choose your favourite, maybe go for the rose gold with your set with the details on the side, and go for the booster set, because the booster set has got all of them in there. So you're going to have your rose gold wire, you're going to have all your crystals and beads, and also the yellow gold and the silver tone as well. So there you go, add those into your basket. Make sure you're checking those baskets out. because that is your wire booster kit that we've got on the screen there, as you can see. The details for the wire booster kit are at the bottom of your screen. It's just £9.99 if you're wanting those. 213253 is that all-important item number. So yeah, by all means do pop those into your basket. Now, we're going to be having a look at the bracelet next. I mean, time is, can you believe we're halfway through the show already? So we've got about 20 minutes or so left of air time before we go to the next show. So these are beautiful. Looking at beaded bracelets with these in a whole variety of different colour tones. So whatever wardrobe you are wearing this season, then these are going to be absolutely beautiful. You've got your lighter tones, maybe if you're still thinking about summer, but then of course you have got your deeper, darker tones. I love that gorgeous gunmetal with the red there. The black, I mean, this looks amazing. Can you imagine creating this as a bracelet, maybe creating it as a choker, maybe for that little black dress at Christmas? And then of course you've got that gorgeous pale blue there, which I think is going to look fabulous. Maybe if you're just wearing jeans and a t-shirt, then that is going to look beautiful. You can choose any two of these kits, so it's entirely up to you. So it might be that you're going for the one with the gold beads, which I think is a really pretty design. Good weight of beads sitting in the centre of these as well, Rachel. Good size, these ones.
And it feels like fabric, doesn't it?
It's just so fluid. And also I'm thinking, I suffer sometimes with regards to kind of having certain findings against my skin. But when you're talking with beads, I'm guessing that it's less likely that you're going to have reactions with these. Obviously, you need to do your own research and you'll know yourself, but it tends to be
It is very kind to the skin. It does feel like fabric.
The fluidity that you've got there. And of course with a kit, it was a bracelet, I mean my bracelet may be different, sorry, my wrist width may be different to yours, to the next person's, and of course I'm guessing with these you can make them shorter if you're wanting to.
Absolutely. So there's you don't need to use all the beads in the kit. The kit, you basically make it to the size that you require.
And I love that little kind of bolt clasp there, so very easy for you to put that together there. And there you go. I mean, what a fabulous little gift if you're making that for somebody. Absolutely beautiful. And again, we've got a booster set for this one at the bottom of your screen. So I think, is this going to be your next demonstration, Rachel?
Yes, I've got.
You've got all ready to go?
All ready to go.
In that case, we will come and join you.
Okay.
So what do we need to know with this one?
Okay, so with this one, it is a completely different form of beading. It's called bead weaving, which is using needle and thread, but it's not using your everyday needle and thread. It's a specialist thread for sewing jewellery products, for sewing bracelets, etc., and a specialist beading needle. And everything that you need for the two projects that come in your kits are in there. So you've got your needle, your thread, all of your glass beads, your two-tone seed beads, and also your clasps as well. And I'm told from many of my customers that do bead weaving with me that don't feel put off. If you're not a lover of sewing, don't be put off, because some say, I don't like sewing, but I love bead weaving. And likewise, if you're a sewer, you've got that added advantage of being thrifty with the old needle and thread.
And I love this because you're wearing the gold version, I can see
I'm wearing
there.
the gold version, and what I've done with the gold one is I actually quite like to wear my jewellery's combined gold and silver, and there's actually silver-lined seed beads in these.
Okay.
So you can quite easily wear the gold with silver jewellery as well.
And it doesn't look out of place.
So that's the gold one.
Wonderful.
I've already started off the bracelet, so I'm just going to give you an idea as to how it works, what sort of thing you do with it. So I've attached the clasp at the end and I've stitched along here. So the first stages are you actually do the base part where you actually use your seed beads and your crystals to create the length of your bracelet. So try not to get carried away.
So you're literally picking them up from the mat there?
I'm picking them up from the mat there. Now, even if you struggle a bit with your vision, I tend to do mine from touch. So if you can see what I'm doing there, is you just get the tip of your needle. You don't have to strain your eyes to do that.
It kind of finds the hole, doesn't it?
That's
the needle,
it.
Yeah.
And then we go back through the glass bead. Try not to get
Coming
my hands
together
in
beautifully.
view. And then go back up through those beads.
Okay.
And in the kit, you will need to add in new thread. And the kit will guide you on all aspects, including tying off the thread so that your bracelet's secure, and adding new thread in as well.
It's just so calming just watching you just thread these beads on. I mean, you can imagine just sitting there and whiling away at the time. With regards to this particular piece, what sort of length of time would you say it would take for you to create your bracelet?
I would say that you probably, for someone beginning, I would say possibly 2 to 4 hours.
Okay.
It is one of those things, once you've got used to it, that you could probably sit in front of the telly and do a little bit more, but it's a thoroughly enjoyable project.
And is it something that you can kind of work so far and then break away and come back to it?
Yes, absolutely. You can quite easily tuck it away until the following day without having to worry about where you're at. It's all quite straightforward. And it really is that the notes and the kit will take you through. It's in 2 stages really, where you create the base band across here.
Okay.
And try not to get carried away with all the beads in your pack, because obviously you need to make sure that it's to your length. And then you'd add the tag clasp, the other end. And then it's when you come back that you actually start to incorporate the frill all the way down your bracelet.
Look at that, isn't that lovely? And I love that because it's those little peaks. I've just slipped on the kind of the ivory version, the cream version, and you don't know that they're there.
No, you don't.
It's a substantial bracelet. I mean, visually, you can't miss it. It looks beautiful, but you can't feel it's there. It's just so smooth against your skin, and I do love that because that's going to work with any colour, isn't it? Regardless of what you're wearing with these as well.
And like you say, you can make it as a choker, and I think that is both casual, the cream and white, and very bridal as well. So if you've got bridal, bridesmaid, and you want to have quite sort of a choker necklace, you could always dangle a couple of beads from the frills as well.
Well, I'm just wondering that. I'm just going to take a couple of those. I mean, obviously, when you're working, because you're going to get 2 of these, aren't you? So what you could potentially do, I know obviously when you make these, it's not going to look as crude as I'm doing here, but just to give you an idea of the actual length if you're putting 2 together. I mean, obviously, you've got the joining there where you've got kind of your little clasp coming together, but if you were to take that, obviously, you could just add in. I mean, you might not want to bother putting all the decoration at the back there, but you can see it's a good length there.
You could even use the middle part of that to have a gemstone or a pendant in the middle.
Yeah, or maybe if you've got some velvet ribbon, you could perhaps use that, couldn't you, to tie it at the back, maybe. But you can see there, 2 of those bracelets is giving you a substantial length with regards to do like that black version. I mean, that looks beautiful, so elegant, doesn't it? And I think that'd look amazing as a choker for Christmas. And again, the gunmetal with the red there, I mean, that is a gorgeous look, isn't it? I do love that lovely deep ruby tones with that. The gold, of course, we saw the gold, and that's the one that we've seen Rachel wearing throughout the show. And then of course, if you do like to mix it up a little bit, maybe you're going to go for the cream alongside your turquoise with that particular one. And of course, the one that Rachel's working on at the moment is that beautiful blue, and that's a real pop of blue, that, isn't it?
It's a real pop-up blue, and I think, like you said before, it's a really nice holiday feel.
Yes, yeah. It is, very much so.
You could even make them into ankle bracelets if you like ankle bracelets as well.
Quite easily. There you go. You can see obviously the cream there as well. I mean, it looks beautiful. And with your pick and mix, I mean, you could be making and maybe even crafting alongside. Because what sort of age would you say that the kind of kits that we've got here? What would be the youngest age you would say? I'm just thinking maybe mum and daughter might like to sit and make bracelets together.
Absolutely. I'm a great believer really in whatever you think your child is capable of doing. Obviously 3 and under. is
and
obviously
you've got kind of with the needles, I suppose you need to be careful.
But I've taught sort of children sort of, I would say 5, 6 up. They might struggle initially, but like I say, if you've got someone that's really dexterous and perhaps they've done some sewing with you already and they're a bit nifty with a needle, then I would say give it a go.
Well, this is it.
They're like sponges.
As we always say, though, when you're crafting with children, adult supervision at all times, because of course we are talking about sharp needles with these ones. But what a beautiful combination. You can choose any 2 of these or 2 repeats of the same. And don't forget, you have got that booster kit. So if you did want to kind of extend this further, the patterns that come with the kit. So obviously we've been talking about the pick and mix, but then additional beads. And this is for all of the beads that you're looking at here. So you're going to get more of your cream, more of your black tone, which I think is just a lovely dramatic black that you've got. Then that gorgeous gold tone that we've seen, and of course that lovely gunmetal. You're also going to get all your seed beads. I mean, there's loads and loads of seed beads here as well. So you can see there's lots and lots there as well. So once you've got the knowledge, you have got everything there to extend your bracelets into necklaces perhaps, or maybe making more repeats of those. And of course the beauty is you will be able to create many more. So with the, if you've already got the patterns, I'm looking at the kind of the strands there. We've got 4 strands. So for the booster set there, £15.95. Could you make 4 additional bracelets?
You would get at least 4 additional bracelets,
really?
Or you could alternate the colours to make a choker necklace.
Yes, yeah.
I think you'd have enough seed beads in there to make a choker necklace combining 2 different tones of glass beads.
Well, the thing is, you could be making a necklace, you could be doing the earrings, maybe the bracelet as well. Have a complete set for the price of your boosters out. Obviously mixing up those colours as you go, but that'd be a nice idea.
It would be nice.
Yeah? Can get really getting into this. So is there any more that you wanted to show us with regards to the bracelet?
I can show you a little bit more if you'd like me to.
That's lovely. We've got about 9 minutes left, just to give you a little bit of a time check.
Let's show you a little bit about how you create the peaks on the bracelet. Just to say as well that I have done tutorials for these, and the details of the tutorials will be in the kit.
Now this is something, you were talking about social media earlier on, and how can we find you? Because obviously you're a new supplier to us. If people have got questions or want to see, or maybe learn from you with your classes, how do we find you?
You can find me either my website, which is beadsbyverchiel.co.uk, all of my social media and my YouTube channels, they're Beads by Verchiel as well. So
lovely. So just
as long as you've got the spelling right, the Verchiel bit, which I know can cause a bit of a problem, but I do a new tutorial every Thursday as well. So if anybody gets a bug for doing this and wants to come and watch the tutorial, everybody's welcome. Now for this little peak, I'm coming out of one of the groups of 4.
Okay, yes.
I'm adding 3 seed beads, and they're all different numbered seed beads in the kit, so you'll be able to sort of see which is which. And then we're going to skip that end bead and go through the next bead.
Okay.
That is what creates the peak. And then we add another 2 beads.
Oh, there it is, yes.
And we will go through the end one.
Okay.
But there's lots to learn, including things like reinforcing, and again all of that is explained in the kit as well. And it's getting used to the tension as well with the bracelet, and
it's quite repetitive as well, isn't it? So I suppose once you've done the first kind of 3 sets or so, then you just go away with it, really.
That's it. It's quite repetitive, and as you can see, we've done one length and it's completely stable.
Isn't that lovely?
And even though it really is quite, I don't know if floppy, versatile, it's really
fluid,
strong, fluid. It just creates a really nice
it's beautiful
feel.
Before you even start putting those peaks in place.
You could just, go for the plain look as well if you wanted to. Look, I'm just putting the wrong beads on there.
And it's a continual thread that you've got. You're not breaking the thread and rejoining it or anything like that.
You will need to add new thread in and tie thread off, and there's all guidance on that in the kits. There's all photographs on there, because obviously that's quite a crucial part to do.
And this is it, because you don't want everything unravelling, do you, as you go?
But the good thing is with the kits is that there's something there for everyone, and perhaps people that have not done jewellery making before, I've heard so many people say, I really didn't realise there was so many elements to jewellery making. So with the kits, there's a little bit for everyone.
This is it. Now we are very busy for the blue that you're working on at the moment. So lots of people taking advantage of that particular one. So lots of you liking that one. Rianne, what was the update on the blue one? Sorry, again. Oh, the booster set, sorry, I thought you said the blue set, sorry. So the booster set for your bracelets, that one is rapidly approaching limited stock. I do apologise, I thought Rianne said blue. And this is the one, well, you are actually getting blue in there, aren't you? Because you're going to get all those different seed beads, including the central beads where you've got your black and your cream, you've also got your gunmetal and your gold. Lots and lots of thread, as you can see there, in a couple of different colours. You're also going to get your needles as well. So this is fabulous with the booster kit to actually get your needles in there. That is amazing. And then, of course, all your seed beads for the different combinations that you might be doing with your little peaks as you work along there. And as you can see there, the central beads there is enough there for you to make 4 of your bracelets. So for 4 bracelets for £15.95, that is an amazing deal. I'm sure you'll agree. But of course, you might just be buying them because you like the look of the beads, which is fine. You don't have to use them alongside the bracelet pattern that we've been looking at. It's entirely up to you. They're just brilliant value bead sets. I'm sure you'll agree. Don't forget, we've got the wire work as well. So if you're wanting to get hold of the wire work, that one has been a popular one as well. With this one, you have got, again, you've got your different options of your different colours. So you've got your rose gold, creating your fabulous pendant. You've also got your gold, your yellow gold look, as well as your silver look with this one. And what you're going to do is create 2 kind of pendant style elements to your necklaces. You've also got your 20-inch chain, which means they're ready to go at the moment that you finish them. But of course, you have got the knowledge there of going on and continuing, perhaps with the booster wire set there. Rose gold is in the lead with this one. Lots of you liking your rose gold. It's very trendy at the moment, isn't it? So yeah, if you like the look of that. But again, 2 completed necklaces there for £18.95. I think that's an amazing price there. So 230679 if you're wanting those. But do add in the booster kit. The booster kit's only £9.99, but it does mean that you can extend, maybe mix up the colours. It doesn't have to be just one colour if you're wanting to do the multiples. As you heard from Rachel earlier on, mixing your gold with the silver can look very, very stylish. And of course, with the booster kit, it gives you the ability to do that because you can get them all within there. Now, as I'm chatting away here, I'm just looking across at Rachel, and this little bracelet is coming together so quickly. You know, you pop a little beading zone there.
I'm well away with it. You see, I'll be running out of thread in a minute.
Well, I think you better invest in that booster set, Rachel, because the way you're going...
I think I must.
Now, incidentally, the booster set for your beads, it is now limited in stock. So if you are wanting to get hold of it, please make sure you get it in your basket checked out. Don't want you missing out on that at all. 955587. And don't forget, if you have just joined us, then you can go back and watch the show for up to 60 days. That also includes you guys that have placed your orders for these, because of course, once you get your kits home, you might want to sit down and craft alongside our lovely Rachel. And do check out her social media, because as she mentioned there, YouTube on a weekly basis, she's sharing her tutorials with you. So there's lots of knowledge there. And as you can see, she's a fabulous teacher, so you know that you can be able to learn it quickly. And I just love this because it's one of those crafts that's just so portable. You just need your beads, your tool kits, and away you go.
You know, going back to holidays, maybe I think I need a holiday. I keep mentioning holidays, don't I? It's great because little beaded mat, you need so little.
That's true,
to create so much. A little beading mat, your beading thread, and a pair of scissors. And it's something, I'm one of these people, I can't sit still.
Oh yes, I'm much the same.
Yeah, I think it's a crafter's
I think it's one of those
trait,
things,
isn't it?
if you're used to crafting, you can't just sit there, can you? That booster set, guys, with regards to the bracelets, that one has now sold out, so thank you to everybody that's finalised your orders with those ones. If you, well, I'd say keep note of the item number. We haven't got any more of them for the hour that we're in at the moment, but who knows in the future. I'm sure we will see Rachel back again very soon. But don't forget the set with the bracelets in there with your instructions. That one is still available to you as well. And with that one, you've got your choices. You've actually got to pick and mix with these because you're going to choose any two of those. And that is the beauty. So if you did miss out on the booster kit, then don't worry. Two of those strands of beads you will have available to you. So are you going to go for the gold? Are you going to go for the cream, the gunmetal and the red, the fabulous jet black that you've got in there? Or maybe you can go for the cream and the turquoise or the blue that we've seen coming together during the demonstrations. 175514. Down to the last minute now.
Goodness.
I did tell you it'd go quick, didn't I?
It has.
Have you enjoyed yourself?
I've had a wonderful time. Thank you for having me, Hayley.
No,
it's
well,
been
thank
great.
you very much. I mean, we've learnt so much during this hour, and you are a natural, you really are, and such a fabulous teacher. I mean, you've taken it at a lovely pace, and we've been able to see everything that you're working with. Now, if anybody's tuned in and they're thinking, I don't know whether I can do this, it looks very complicated. I mean, you make it look so effective when you're doing it. Is it simple, something nice and simple that people can get started with?
I think baby steps. It's absolutely for everyone. There's no one that couldn't try this. I would say dip your toes in the water and you will find it quite addictive.
I love it. And of course, the one that you've been working with, you haven't needed any tools with this one, really, have you? Just your needle and thread?
Just my needle and thread and my seed beads.
Lovely. Thank you, Rachel.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Look forward to working with you again very soon.
So.
I love it. So make sure you are checking out your baskets. It's going to get busy after the break because we're approaching 6 o'clock, so it's one day special time.